Hi, this is Skybuster Greg. Today we're going to be doing our 3-2-1 recipe of smoking some ribs on the Bradley smoker. I started off by removing the silver skin off the back of the ribs. Very important to do. Overnight, I soaked them in a mild rib sauce. We are going to then proceed to lather them up with the mustard to put on the rib rub. There's many different recipes for rib rub. All we use is onion powder and garlic powder. All right, we're going to begin with lathering up both sides of the ribs here. It's used as a binding agent. Get the sides in it, both sides of the ribs, so your rib rub will stick to your ribs while they're smoking. Don't be shy on the mustard. You will not taste the mustard once they are done finished cooking. Basically, just all it is just as a binding agent. Okay, we're gonna sprinkle generously some garlic powder. Use the garlic powder, not the salt. You don't need more salt in your diet. By using the powder, you'll get the good taste. Onion powder, rub that all down. Both sides. And then you just proceed to do all the ribs like that. Okay, here we got the ribs now on the smoker. We're going to let them sit there for 3 hours and come back, check them, and then wrap them up for another 2 hours. So we're going to let the smoke go, and we're going to use just a 200 degree. You want it very low for the first 3 hours. We're going to set that at 200. We're going to set the smoke timer for 3 hours, the oven for 3 hours, and today we are just using the mesquite. Okay, we're going to check on the ribs. It's been 3 hours now. Yeah, they look pretty good. Now we're going to take them inside, and we are going to wrap them in tin foil, put some brown sugar on them, some honey, and some juices. All right, we are going to put some honey over top of them, both sides, and then we're going to put some brown sugar. It's going to give it that nice bark on it, both sides. We're going to wrap them back up in tin foil and put them back on the smoker for 2 hours. You're going to get a nice caramelization from the brown sugar. So switch that over. Some more honey. Liquid honey works best when you're trying to create that bark. Brown sugar will give it a nice sweet taste to it, add some flavor. You want to make sure you roll up the ends of the tin foil so when you put your fluids to it, you're not going to be all leaking all over. A lot of people just use apple juice. I like to use apple juice and grape juice. And you want to pour it, you can pour it right over top. So here the meat's not going to dry out on you. You don't have to be shy with it. Now we're going to wrap those back up. Make sure they're all good and sealed up. Another piece of tin foil over the top of it. Okay, now they're going to go back in the smoker for 2 hours, like that. Okay, we got them back in here now, and we're going to let them sit like that for 2 hours, and we're going to turn up the heat a little bit on them. Oven timer, 2 hours. Oven temperature, we're going to put it up to about 230, and we'll let that sit there. Okay, now that 2 hours are up, we're going to take them out of the foil and put them back on the rack with some coating on it. We've taken them out of the tin foil, put them back on the rack. We've taken the drippings that we had the fluid in the foil with. We've added some barbecue sauce, and we're just going to use that to coat the ribs, just to keep them nice and moist. And for the next hour, we'll look in on them, and they may need a brushing or two. You don't want them to dry out at all. And you can coat both sides so that they stay nice and moist. And then they're going to go back in the smoker for an hour at 225 degrees. All right, now we got them back on the smoker, and we're going to leave it at 230 degrees for the next hour. This is my version of using the 3-2-1 method on smoked ribs using the Bradley smoker. If you like this video, please hit the subscribe button below and give me a thumbs up. Bon appetit. Skybuster Greg out.